Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 29th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our storm, it is wrapping up. It's a beast right off the coastline here. It's already spreading precipitation into the state. Some lightning strikes off the coastline. This is going to be with us for the next couple of days here, and it's going to move all the way down across Southern California. Nice round of mountain snow, some heavy precipitation, even some flooding concerns out there, some thunderstorm activity, maybe even some water spout or brief weak tornado potential. And then we'll take a look at the extended forecast. As always, as we go through the video here this morning, taking a closer look at things. If we back this up and play it through, you can see the nice representation here on the visible satellite imagery. We can go down to composite radar and overlay that, and we can take a look at the lightning flashes that are going on right now. And if we put that into motion, you can kind of see the lightning strikes right off the coastline here, and you can see this frontal system now making its way into the central coast, the Bay Area, getting a nice soaking rainfall as we speak right now. And this is going to continue all the way down across Southern California. This one's going to have a punch for Southern California as well. Pretty heavy rainfall moving across the area. The good thing is that the front will be fairly progressive, but then there's going to be some strong shower activity as we go through the day Sunday, bringing some additional bouts of heavy rainfall for some areas. If we take a look at the gusty winds here, it does include Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto. Some of the Bay Area got wind advisories. And you can see 2 p.m. today to 11 p.m. today, March 29th, and you can see some of these gusts up to 45 miles per hour, so heads up for that. Hazardous mountain travel, check it out, 48 inches above 4,000 feet, 8 to 20 above 5, and up to 30 inches at the peaks, and wind gusts to 40 miles per hour, and probably even stronger across the ridges and the higher terrain as well. Watch out for the chain controls, and this goes from 8 a.m. today all the way on in through Sunday evening, 5 p.m. Sunday evening, March 31st. Now, if we take a look at projected precipitation amounts this afternoon through Sunday, look at this across some of the southern Sierra Nevada, getting some nice amounts. So even down towards Southern California, can't rule out a little bit of snowfall for I-5 towards the Grapevine there as well. And you can see better amounts across some of the coastal range, Sierra Nevada here, and lesser amounts across the valley area is pretty typical. Bakersfield right around a half an inch, and this goes through Sunday. Here we go with the wind headlines here for some of the Bay Area and some of the coastal ranges as well. Look at this, gusts 58 miles per hour or greater are expected below 900 feet right in the coastal areas. Big Sur, Gorda, for example, gusts to 70 miles per hour above 900 feet. So pretty strong winds with this storm system rolling down here across the area. Now looking at total precipitation, San Francisco, inch and a half. Big Sur, look at that, Gorda, 2 to 3 inches, and lesser amounts across some of the valley areas, but watch out for that. You could even get some rock and mudslide activity there, and forecast confidence is fairly high. Of course, the storm is right off the coastline. It is on its way in. Now, looking at rain, most probable here, some of Los Angeles metro, up towards 2 inches here, and higher, of course, across the higher terrain here, starting mainly this tonight, Friday night here, as we start to bring the more significant rainfall and the more steady rainfall in here. And you can see there is that moderate risk for flooding. Roads, creeks, and mudslides are all a possibility. Here we go at the peak wind gusts, again, across the higher terrain and some of the coastal areas. Some pretty strong winds. Look at this, localized 45 to 60 miles per hour, maybe in a few down trees and some power outages. Airport delays, including LAX, and some dangerous seas. So watch out, mariners, anybody out towards the coastal areas for some of that increased wave activity as well. Here's the peak wind gusts across the higher terrain all the way down through the peninsular ranges, the transverse ranges. Big gusts up over 50 miles per hour are possible. And yeah, this is going to go on some pretty gusty winds here for the next few days as we finally get the system out of here at some point on Monday, most likely. And here's the snowfall. Check out Big Bear Lake, 2.5 feet maybe here, right? Wood at a, foot and a half, 2 inches there. And yeah, interesting stuff. So watch out across the higher terrain. And again, a little bit of a chance there for some of the Grapevine I-5 going back and forth. This is the day one excessive rainfall outlook. You can just imagine that. The slight risk down here across Santa Barbara as this frontal system moves down across the area. And then tomorrow we have this for Los Angeles and San Diego here, and even some of the interior areas as this frontal system moves through. And then we got one more here as we go through the day Sunday, marginal across Southern California and marginal for portions of Arizona. So Donner Pass, I-80 is definitely going to be getting some snowfall here. It should be flying already for many areas. It's going to be below a lot of the pass levels out there. And so, have your chains with you. Call before you go. Be prepared. Those chain controls can really put a damper on things if you go up there and you get turned around. So if you want a nice, affordable home weather station as well, check this one out. It's all solar power. It's got a lightning detection system, haptic rain gauge, ultrasonic anemometer, stores all the data for you in the cloud. Great smartphone app. Highly recommend it. Now, looking at the North American model. Here we go. There's the storm off the coastline here. Look at some of the heavy rain at times all the way down the central coast into Southern California as we move into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Some very heavy rainfall moving across the region. I'm clicking through 1 hour periods here. And you can see by the time we get to Saturday afternoon, this should be somewhere across Southeast California, but still bringing some widespread rainfall, even back up into Nevada here. And then eventually it'll be targeting western Arizona as we go on in through very late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And you can see the spin of the low pressure center here continuing to spin, some convection back up and across the area as we go through the day Sunday. You could have some waterspout potential with that, some lightning, some gusty winds out there, and some heavy rainfall as well. So yeah, what a storm system rolling in. Lightning flash density potential on the European. So let's take a look at today. This is this afternoon. There is some lightning out there, expected with this frontal system here, but take a look at what happens when we go on to Saturday here. We destabilize pretty well across some of the valley areas, even in much of California, really, from the Bay Area, especially down towards Southern California. And then as we go on in towards Sunday, you'll see we kind of do something similar here, that it does include much more of Southern California. Even the Bay Area can't rule out thunderstorms again on the day Sunday. Some of the desert areas, Las Vegas, some of western Arizona. Then we'll go through Monday, and we may do it one more day that include portion in the desert areas of Southern California and on in through Arizona as well. So yeah, pretty dynamic system. Here's the official forecast here from the Storm Prediction Center. You can see it does include the Bay Area, coastal range, all the way down towards Southern California today. This is for tomorrow. It includes San Diego and Los Angeles metro as well, Sacramento, Bay Area, and day 3 again for Southern California, maybe Las Vegas and portions of Arizona. So let's take a look at the European. This is 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. Our storm system is here. It's moving down the coastline, and you can see it kind of hanging out here and finally kicking off as we go on in through the day Tuesday. Probably going to be out of here. Then we start to build a ridge here across some of the Pacific Northwest. But I want to show you the extended GFS because it's been showing something interesting in the future. This is the storm system we're dealing with currently. Then we get a little bit of a break here as we build a ridge across Pacific Northwest. Trough swings through, but then the GFS and some of the European runs have been including another strong storm system trying to drive down as we go through next week here as well. So we'll be watching that one closely. Don't want to get too hung up in those details just yet. We're still a ways out in the forecast, but you can kind of see the troughing hanging out on the coastline here. If you like that 12Z GFS, man, it would be an active start to April. Let's just put it that way. Now, looking at the European, this is last night's run, artificial intelligence run. So here's the system we're dealing with currently. It moves out, and then the European also showing some of that troughing potential as we go towards the end of next week here, hanging out, and then another system dropping down the coastline here that we'll be able to watch as we go through the end, actually on into the mid portion of April here. So yeah, interesting stuff, fun stuff potentially in our future. I also just want to kind of highlight the winds one more time here. You saw the wind advisories out there and some high wind warnings, and then you can see some of the stronger winds across some of the mountainous areas here in the coastal range. The frontal system swings through Saturday morning, and you can see the low pressure just churning and spinning down the coastline as we go through the day Sunday as well, keeping those gusty winds around, and probably going to be with us here, especially across the higher terrain all the way through Monday. Wave height also, we do have the elevated wave action, of course, the system we're dealing with right now, keeping those waves elevated all the way on into this weekend, into the early portion of next week. Get a little bit of a break there, but then we may start to kick up those waves again as we go towards the end of next week if we start to get those systems arriving back down the coastline here. And now looking at total precipitation and inches, national blended models, just again kind of showing you what general amounts we are expecting. You can see across the higher terrain of the transverse ranges, peninsular ranges here as well, all the way on in through Monday night coming up here. So yeah, nice precipitation maker on its way, already ongoing. Looking at total snow 10-to-1 ratio, nice mountain snowmaker as well. You can see as we go through tomorrow afternoon, some big amounts across some of the higher terrain of Southern California as well. So yeah, beneficial for the mountainous areas here. Keeps the water supplies going strong. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. There we go, West Coast, you can see it, below average. The signal continues to show above average precipitation across much of the Southwest. 8 to 14 day, not much of a change there as well, all the way through April 14th. Below average signal across much of the West, and the 8 to 14 day continues to show much of the West above average precipitation-wise. So anyway, yeah, get out there and enjoy this because, you know, once you get to summertime, you might look back fondly at some of the storm activity we've been getting, and we have a potential for another one as we go on in through the early portion of April, as I showed you here. And we'll be watching that one day by day. We'll be breaking it down. So I hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.